Welcome viewers to the Saturday, April 12th edition of 284 News. I am Jacques Whitting, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. The Office of the City Manager is reporting that the lockout of some vendors at Craft Alive because of unpaid rent has met its objective. News broke last week that 15 vendors who were owing the Office of the City Manager for the past 10 to 12 years were locked out of their stores until they made a payment or gave their intention to pay the outstanding fees. City Manager Janice Brathwaite Edwards said that based on the lockout last Monday into Tuesday morning, they were able to get the type of response needed.
We were able to jolt the vendors into making a substantial commitment on their outstanding balances. So the exercise was a great exercise. It did what we needed it to do. We put a number of those that came in on payment plans, and the situation is, just so that the media knows in advance, should they not comply with their payment plans, then future action will be taken. But for right now, the vendors some of them are complying. So those that are complying, we are grateful for them for complying, but it was getting a little bit out of hand. And we have to continue in 2025 to put the pressure on because we need to collect the government funds. We need to do that. Before we could go into vendors not using their spaces, based on their lease agreements, we have to follow the terms of law. We can't just put people out because they're not using their spaces. We have to go through a legal process, and we're actually in the process of going through the legal process. And those spaces that may become available, I must say we have 97 people since 2012 waiting on spaces in Craft Alive. So it's not, people are calling me, and they've been calling me every day this week, but the activity was not to empty spaces. The activity was to mobilize vendors to pay their outstanding balances.
Meanwhile, many persons involved in the marine industry have raised a number of concerns at a meeting on Tuesday evening as the government prepares to make amendments to its marine legislations. The proposed amendments to be discussed include the Commercial Recreational Vessels Licensing Bill 2024, Cruising and Home Port Permit Bill 2024, and Customs Management and Duties Bill 2024. These amendments are to go before the House of Assembly soon. One of the persons expressing concerns was Julian Johnson on behalf of his company, Island Times Power Boats. Johnson's concern was boats coming from the USVI and involved in day charters with passengers picked up in the BVI.
USVI day charter boats coming into the BVI, clearing into customs empty, just the captain on board, going on to Little Dix Bay or Ornat Bay or Scrub Island, picking up a charter or the cruise ships, doing a day charter within the BVI, Baths, Willie T, and so on, dropping the guests back to the hotel and then going back to the USVI. That happens consistently now. And we think it's very important that this new bill make that a restricted, a prohibited activity. We have no issue with USVI boats coming in with day trippers that they've picked up in the USVI, doing a BVI day charter and heading back down with their guests. In fact, we think that is we want that. We have no issue with it. They're obviously all of the places like Saugidal and so on. That's a very important part of their business, and we have no issue with it. I would go a step further to say that we need to make it easier for them to do that. If you go down to West End on any given morning at 9 o'clock, it's clogged with USVI day tripper boats, clearing customs like any other vessel, getting passports stamped. We have to find a creative way for it to be easier for them to do that thing. I don't know if there's a way to treat them similar to cruise ship passengers, where they come in, and since they're just here for a limited amount of time, that there's a seamless way to get them cleared through.
Johnson also raised issues in relation to foreign-based water taxis and home-based BVI day charter boats. He says provisions relating to these areas need to be clearer in the legislation.
I think it's Section 10C and it may be mentioned somewhere else. But that needs to be made a little clearer and explicit in what it's trying to say. The other issue, I would say, and it kind of comes back to what John was saying earlier about people skirting the system. I think I still struggle a little bit with the BVI vessel versus home-based vessel versus whatever else. And I think it needs to be, at least for day charters and water taxis, explicitly stated in the bill that a home-based BVI day charter boat or water taxi has a licensed here, registered here, and based here, physical base of operations. Even if the boat may have to be here, be based here. What I'm concerned is that you find people registering the boats here, getting their CRVL, creating some kind of satellite office that kind of gives the impression that they're home based, and the boats are coming back and forth from the USVI every day. So I think that needs to be, the language needs to be worked out on that to make sure that there's no ambiguity in it.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, Producer and Engineer. Kamal Lutzum, Photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, Sales Manager and Hospitality Professional. Leland Abraham, IT Technician and Cybersecurity Analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, every Wednesday at 8 p.m., exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner.
That's just not cricket.
No sweat, you with CG. Remember my street dance battle against Seamus O'Leapsy? I went on to win the title Miss Irish-ish, set to perform at nursing homes around the world. Then this happened. Seamus on you, Seamus. Anyway, I was covered. Let's bounce.
Comprehensive motor cover for damage and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. The Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation recently held decal installations and membership ceremonies for 6 banks operating in the territory. During the ceremonies, Banco Popular de Puerto Rico, National Bank of the Virgin Islands, CIBC, First Bank Puerto Rico, VP Bank, and Republic Bank received their official decals and membership certificates verifying their compliance with VDIC requirements and regulations. The event represents an important milestone for the banking sector in the Virgin Islands, as the member institutions demonstrated their adherence to the Deposit Insurance Corporation's mandates and standards. The decals, which will be displayed at the financial institutions, serve as visible symbols of the bankers' participation in the deposit insurance program, offering reassurance to customers about the security of their deposits. Here's a look at how things went down.
Today, we recognize Banco Popular as a covered member of the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation, VDIC. This occasion marks an important step in strengthening financial security, protecting customers, and ensuring the overall stability of the banking sector in the British Virgin Islands. With this in mind, we are proud to present Banco Popular with its official VDIC membership certificate and install the VDIC decal, both which serve as visible symbols of the bank's commitment to these principles.
Today, Popular is proud to participate in the decal presentation of the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation, VDIC, marking a new era of financial security for the British Virgin Islands. The introduction of VDIC demonstrates a commitment for safeguarding the deposits of our valued customers in the BVI.
Today, we officially recognize CIBC Caribbean as a covered member of the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation, VDIC. VDIC commends CIBC Caribbean for taking this key step in reinforcing trust and confidence amongst its valued customers.
CIBC would like to thank VDIC for the certificate and the decals to be displayed in the branch. We'd also like to say that this marks an important step for the BVI as it relates to protecting our depositors' insurance. And the display of those decals and the certificate also show our clients our commitment to supporting the insurance of their deposits. Thank you.
We officially recognize First Bank as a covered member of the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation, or VDIC. We are strengthening financial security, protecting consumers, and ensuring the stability of the banking system in the Virgin Islands. With pride, we present the membership certificate for VDIC to First Bank. As well, we will install the VDIC decal, both symbols of First Bank's commitment to these principles.
Thanks to CEO Violet, the VDIC team, the media, member of staff, for joining with us today in this memorable event. This distinction reflects an unwavering commitment to the financial services sector in the BVI.
We officially recognize Republic Bank as a covered member of the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation, VDIC.
This occasion marks a significant chapter in Republic Bank's journey as we proudly accept our certificate and seal our membership with VDIC. This step is a testament to our unwavering commitment to the principles of integrity, security, strength in our financial system.
The presentation of the VDIC membership certificate and installation of the VDIC decal reinforce commitment to protecting the customers of Bank of Asia and ensuring the stability of the banking system of the British Virgin Islands. And now, I'm pleased to present the membership certificate to the Bank of Asia.
Thank you for this presentation today. I'd like to applaud the country as well as VDIC Deposit Insurance Corporation for helping the BVI make this huge milestone towards strengthening the BVI financial services industry and one step forward towards making us a global center for finance. Thank you very much.
We officially recognize National Bank as a covered member of the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation, VDIC. We commend National Bank for taking this key step in reinforcing trust and confidence with its valued customers.
Indeed, it has been a pleasure today for us to accept, on behalf of the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, our decal that demonstrates or symbolizes our membership to the Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation. And we say assurance is a key thing when persons face in adverse situations, and we are glad that we can be able to offer a sense of assurance to our banking customers.
customers and assure them that we will be there through the Virgin Islands Department of Insurance Corporation to assist family.
Meanwhile, Lemonade BVI continues to advocate and support differently abled children and their parents and caregivers in the British Virgin Islands. The organization will hold a symposium today, Saturday, April 12th, at the Save the Seed Energy Center. They shared the details in a recent interview with Do It For Media.
This is one of the objectives of Lemonade BVI, which is to ensure we have major events in the community, encouraging big turnout, big participation from everyone. It's labeled as a parent and caregiver symposium because we're trying to ensure that we get the persons living with neurodivergence in their families to come out, but it's also for everyone because, like I said before, support is not just about us supporting each other. It's about everyone in the community coming together. The reason being, A, to grow understanding, raise awareness, and then to also share knowledge and information and tips and tricks, right? So the symposium is one of two that are going to happen this year. Last year, we did the ADHD and dyslexia one, and that was a huge hit. We had lots of participation there. This time we're hoping for the same thing. We're encouraging people to come out. It's a day where we spend time in the space thinking about how can we help grow our community into a more inclusive place? How do we put the tools in place? How do we equip each other and ourselves to get to that place where it's not even a thing to talk about anymore, right? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Oh, yes.
You know, you just have children registered for school or for whatever, you know, or you go to church and the church is inclusive.
The symposium seeks to bring together all stakeholders who play a role in the life of a differently abled person.
I've found that as we started this work, and already I'm so proud of BVI. BVI, I'm so proud of you. Already I'm seeing the needle move, right? So people are talking about dyslexia, they're getting trained, they're going out there, they're finding information. Same with ADHD. Adults like me are getting diagnosed later in life because they realize, wait a minute, the things I learned at that last symposium, perhaps there's something I need to, And so it's not really about the labels, but it's just about understanding ourselves, understanding how we can be our best selves, right? And it's the same for our children. So the more we know, knowledge is power. The more we know, the better we're going to be as a community. So this time of year, March is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. The 21st is the day we acknowledge it. April 2nd is Autism Awareness Day. So during the month of April, we acknowledge autism. And as I mentioned previously, autism and Down syndrome share a lot of commonality, but the one thing that's different about them, one is seen. You can physically see features of a child or a person living with Down syndrome. You cannot often see it with someone with with Down syndrome, but you cannot see it with autism. So it's really accessing that topic and just getting people to think a little bit deeper about it. Yes, we have deficiencies in the community. Yes, we can do more. Yes, I get it. But how do we do it? And that's the conversation I want us to have on Saturday, April 12th. So just to encourage people to come out and engage on that level.
Ms. Foster also spoke on the importance of such forums in building awareness and community outreach.
Yes, it's early on a Saturday morning. I get it. If you went out Friday night, it might be a problem. However, set your alarm, come out. We'll have coffee, we'll have pastries, we'll have things ready for you, refreshments. We'll have lunch available as well for the day. And we also have free childcare. So don't try to find a sitter for the kids. Bring them. We have that arranged for you. It's at Save the Seed, you know, downstairs. There's the play area and the bowling alley. The kids will have a blast while we're doing our thing upstairs. There's no fee involved. Thanks to our sponsors.
Beautiful.
Absolutely free. So the only thing you're giving on that day is your time and an open mind. Come with an open mind. Come to learn from each other. And that's it.
Both representatives also highlighted the importance of early detection and reinforced community awareness.
I was very, very pleased. Just the last few weeks in church, I was approached by a Rotarian, one of your counterparts.
Rotary Club Sunrise, yes.
There you go. And they were so tickled. This was Sonia. She was so tickled to hear about what we were doing in the community, and she really wanted us to wanted you guys to be a part of our work. And right away, without much thought going into it, Rotary Sunrise has now partnered with Lemonade in a big way. So they've also provided financial support for the symposium, and we're very grateful for that. We also have Ernst & Young. They're one of our sponsors, as well as, they're going to kill me. There's another one.
That's fine. If we remember, we can get back to it.
We'll plug that in. But we do have other supporters in the community. We have anonymous donors as well, and supporters, because there are people out there who want to give, but they just don't want. It's not about the recognition.
It's also appreciated.
Yes, absolutely. And so La Dulce Vita is one of those supporters. I'm going to plug them because the kids love the ice cream there. Yes. And Pearl is just amazing. She was there with us at the bingo. The bowling night. Yeah. And it's definitely really, really good to see so many community partners coming out and just supporting us in a big way.
For people wishing to follow and support Lemonade BVI, Ms. Foster shared social media handles and contact information.
So we've got a Facebook page. Just type Lemonade BVI into Facebook, you'll find us. We also have an Instagram handle, and you can also find us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. I think that's when you have to actually search for my name, Simone Foster, but if you type Lemonade BVI, you'll find all of our videos there. The YouTube one, I would like to mention that we have videos there, not only of our events and things that we've done, but we also have this series that I'm hoping to keep building. It's called SPED Talk. This is where we sit kind of like what we're doing right now with specialists and just have conversations about topics. And so that's a really good one for people to take a look at on our channel, just to start understanding a bit more beyond just what they're seeing with Lemonade in the community. Because the work that we're doing, it's not just about raising awareness. There's so much more, and I'm sure you're going to get into that when we talk about our 3 pillars, but I just wanted to emphasize that there's work to be done, and we're going to keep doing it.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick break, but stay with us because there is more when we return.
At Hire BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Hire BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. The Youth Empowerment Program, YEP, is celebrating 20 years of service to children and families in the British Virgin Islands with activities planned for early May. YEP Executive Director Stacey Mather, who has been with the program since its inception, reflected on the legacy it continues to build.
Sometimes I have to give myself a reality check because I can remember when I started working on YEP, I had a yellow pad in my bedroom writing the ideas of what YEP could look like, what it could be. It was a daunting task because the BVI had a need, but what would be needed to fill that need and what it would look like was completely a risk. Now, for example, yesterday I was coming out of the bank and a former YEPie who's now a grown lady and she has a child who attends YEP is saying to me, I'm so proud because she's able to share what she experienced with her son. So that continuity of young people who have gone to YEP, who are now adults and can testify and say, this program was all of this for me. It was a home, it was a fun place, it was a place where I could grow, a place I could be myself, a place I could feel protected, but above all, it was theirs. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing some flashbacks and you can see young people sharing and saying, YEP was awesome, YEP was the place to be. So that impact that is still existing, where you had a 10-year-old who's now a 28-year-old or whatever saying, hey, I love this place and I still have fond memories and I want to see it continue. That's the impact. That's what gets me bubbly inside.
Mather was joined by Deputy Director Bianca Dugan, who announced plans for Spirit Week from May 5th to 10th to commemorate the milestone during a recent interview with To-It4 Media. Founded in 2005 during a cement shortage that delayed construction until 2007, the program has served approximately 10,000 young people in its 2-decade history, according to the program officials.
This was in 2003, 2002. I was working at the Ebenezer Thomas Primary School in Seacouls Bay. And I had just finished my graduate degree and I wanted to become a principal. But I was told by the ministry at the time, the department, that I was too young. And I would have to wait a few years. And I had a friend of mine, Noni Georges, who was having conversations with Dr. Pickering. At that time, he was in office, and Dr. Henry Jarecki, about what could be done. There was a lady working on Guana Island. Her son was involved in foul fights and dog fights and everything. And she would not be able to monitor him at home. And Dr. Jarecki, Noni, got involved in it. I think at the time, it was a question of how could they reduce the latchkey children in our territory, children who are unsupervised. So Noni pointed me towards Dr. Jarecki. I had a series of meetings with him, and he said, go figure out something. And I wasn't sure where it would go, but it became something where I did some research. I did quite a few interviews with him and people from overseas. I had to present my ideas with him to the cabinet of the Virgin Islands at the time. And eventually, he donated $1 million. Dr. Pickering, Honorable Alvin Christopher at the time, was able to help us get some land in the area. And we went to work. And we started construction, I think, in 2005. There was a cement shortage. We finished in 2007. We wanted to open with 40 children. We had 80 children, and we've always been surpassing what we're supposed to do, because when a child comes to you and they look up at you and they said, "Can I come?" What are you supposed to say, Ron?
The anniversary celebration will include multiple community events, beginning with Rep the Yep Day on May 5th, when residents are encouraged to wear the organization's colors of orange, gray, black, or white.
The 20th years for our anniversary, we have a Spirit Week. Okay. The Spirit Week is going to begin May 5th and it's going to end May 10th. On the 5th, we're having our Rep the Yep Day. So we're asking the community to please wear Yep colors such as orange, gray, black, or white. And also, if you have a Yep branded t-shirt, we would like you to also wear that t-shirt as well. So it's Rep Yep Day on the Monday. On the Tuesday, we're going to have a filled pantry day. We have selected the District 7 and 8 pantry to be filled. So we're asking that the community to please bring donations. Donations are accepted. You could bring them to Yep itself, and then we'll take them to the pantries of the 7th and the 8th district. On Wednesday, we're having our open house. Our open house is going to start at 11 and end at 6. And again, we're encouraging the community to please come out and just step in to see what it is to be a Yeppie for that day. Activities such as interactive games on our court. We're going to have interactive sessions in our computer room. You'll be able to see what the kids are doing in the craft room, painting, and of course, you get to have a taste of our hands of our Yeppies from the Beyond the Plate program.
Beautiful.
Okay. On the Thursday, we have a Flashback Thursday. So we're asking all alumni from Yep, if you have been to Yep before, to please just post any picture that you may have or any memory that you would have while you were at Yep. And also on social media. And on Friday, we have a family game night. The location is to be announced, but the time that we're looking at is between 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. And again, we're encouraging all families to please come out and support that cause. On Saturday, we would like to do a colorful walk run. where the walk is going to begin from Yep grounds. Our first stop is the Willow Whitley Primary School, and our next stop is the Beef Island Beach, and we return to Yep, where we're going to have a time capsule ceremony. So with this time capsule ceremony on the compound at Yep, is we're hoping to just bury like different memorabilia of Yep.
And that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com, like us on Facebook at 284media, and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Jacques Wooding, and I'll see you again next week, so have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.